Morning. I've done one of these in a while. That'll be my catchphrase from now on. So. Aye. Bags under my eyes. Yeah. Not getting much sleep lately. I got an old dog. He's 16 now, and he's having a hard time in the night because he's warm. We've had rather hot few months now, haven't we? And we're not getting a lot of rain, hence the river being low. And there's also a sort of misty tinge to the river, which usually means that somebody upstream is pumping something into the river they're not supposed to be. Some sort of detergent. There's a lot of the car washes that are getting set up, you know, the covers. They just wash cars on the road, they don't give a shit, and it all goes down the storm drains. Excuse my French, the storm drains, and it goes straight into the rivers then. Anyway, so I'm just going to walk down the river, check it out, see what's going on. Like I said, we've not had a lot of rain lately. We've had a few like big downpours, but we've had, in between the downpours, we've had weeks and weeks of drought, which isn't good. So what I thought I'd do in those drought days is get on with my sort of my backup business, which I had planned, which was an eBay shop. Now I started selling on there. I've picked up a lot of collectibles over the years, and you know, and that's what I enjoy doing, finding out about collectibles, new and old, and sometimes I sell them on. And I've got so much, really, I sort of look at that, amazing. I got so much, really, I started selling on a lot of things, and I started making quite a bit of money. And I made about in just over a week I made, I'd say, about 350 quid, right? Selling collectibles as a private seller. And I wasn't going to set myself as a business yet, but I thought if this does well, then I will set up as a business. I just set as a private seller, selling my own collectibles, which that was what we'll do. Now, got over a certain amount of sales, and then eBay decided they wanted, what did they want first of all? I can't remember. A national insurance number. Right, okay. So I got nothing to hide from anybody. I'm not a tax dodger. So give them my national insurance number. So fine, they were alright with that, you know, fine. So carried on selling. I got to about 30 sales, I think it was, and then they said, and I left the money in there because I was going to take it all up in one lump sum and use it at my daughter's birthday, because, you know, everybody's going through financial difficulties at the moment, so it's going to use the money for my daughter's birthday. Then I had a message off eBay saying, you're not having your money, we want more information off you. I thought, well, okay, so what do you want? And he said, we want photo ID, we want driver's license, we want passport, we want. And I thought, hang on, I'm just a private seller. I'm just a private seller, that's all. I'm not setting myself as a business, but I might in the future, which would help eBay out. So they then said to me, your funds are on hold until you can provide us with the information we want. We want bills, proof of bills, photo ID. Now, I don't drive, never learned to drive, never found the need to. I've always used public transport, although it is probably a good idea I do now, because it's cheaper to actually drive a car than it is to use public transport these days. Well done, Starmer, another one for you, another feather by your hat there, along with everything else that's going on at the moment. So I said, I don't drive, I don't go abroad, haven't got a valid passport, don't find the need to go abroad, I don't want to go abroad. There's so much things going on, bad things going on in the world, I don't want to travel. Not yet, you know, maybe in the future when, you know, after Jesus has been will, I don't know, maybe start travelling, because the world belongs to God, belongs to Jesus, doesn't belong to the devil, like a lot of people think, including a lot of Christians. Yes, the devil does get to reign for 2,000 years, but that probably kicked in when Jesus was crucified. So I honestly think we're in the aftermath now, because it's been a brutal 2,000 years. You know, you look into history and it really has. Anyway, so eBay said they're going to hold my money. So, which they have for about a month now, because I told them I couldn't provide them with a passport or a driver's license. So they said, well, we want your birth certificate then. Now I started thinking, why, if you are taking photographs of your personal effects, like birth certificates, like driver's license, passport, things like that, these people that you're speaking to, who are supposed to be eBay representatives, they're not in this country. And the amount of fraud and deception that goes on in their country, you know, thinking about really, does it? So I will give them my birth certificate. I will unlock my money, because it's my money, which I sold my personal effects to get. So it's my money, not theirs. And I will get my money off them. And then it's a question then, do I want to continue with eBay? The odds are no, but I might. Depends how amenable they are when I provide them with my birth certificate, which they might take off, forge, and use for somebody to come over on a boat. Now, there's a lot of other things I want to talk about in this video. Obviously, things going on at the moment to do with Herr Starmer and his regime, and the online safety bill, which is not really a safety bill, is it? No, because you know, they said it's to protect children from pornography. Now, I'm not being funny. If you let your children watch pornography, you're an awful parent. Absolutely awful, probably the worst parent on the planet. So you should really be keeping an eye on what your children are watching, shouldn't you? Yes. Anyway, we'll get into that after. I'm just gonna try and get past these hard bits. There's a cracking size dragonfly lying in front of me, and there's a beautiful buddleia bush here. I love buddleia. We've got one in our garden. It's only small at the moment. We are growing it because butterflies, bees, all the pollinators absolutely love buddleia plants, and they are stunning, and they smell lovely as well, you know, and they're really hardy. Anyway, back to Starmer, Stasi, and his new elite police force who are, you know, on the internet 24 hours a day, jobbing it. You know, the police on the streets can't do their jobs properly, but they got people online looking for people putting mean tweets up and things like that, you know. This is the thing, you know, Starmer thought he was, you know, all big and hard when he called for Musk's arrest and things like that, and then he didn't realise he didn't have any powers whatsoever, because, you know, Starmer's a civil servant in the end, he's supposed to serve us. They all are. And what happened was, you know, so now he's trying to go about it a different way now. He's trying to actually ban the internet, you know, but not for the right reasons, not for the reasons of these gangs who are being let get away with the most horrific crimes all across Britain, but no, because he doesn't like the fact that people are finding out things about him, like, you know, why those young fellas had his address, all his addresses, and tried to set fire to his house and things like that. Yeah, odd that, isn't it? But anyway, so this online bill, they reckon it's for the safety of children. It's not for the safety of children, because already people like myself and other people who make videos on YouTube and things like that, their videos are getting taken down because of the online safety bill. Now, that wasn't really what it was for, was it? According to you, that's not what it was for. It was to protect children from pornography. Yeah. Things, isn't it? But there we go. People like and obviously we're going to see less. It's like a few years ago, Russia Today. Russia Today was one of the best sites you could go on to see the world news, because they didn't lie about anything, they didn't cover anything up, they wanted to tell everybody the truth. But now you can't see Russia Today unless you've got a VPN or something like that. You can't actually go on Russia Today. It's been banned from the UK because they tell the truth. Now, this whole thing is obviously to scare people into compliance and things like that. But what everybody needs to do now is everybody needs to get together and say no. Everybody needs to do the same thing, make videos about it, talk about it. Everybody needs to, because they can't go and arrest every single British person who are the majority, even though we're made to think that we're not the majority, because certain groups of people are being allowed to get away with extreme violence across the UK just to scare us into compliance again. But there we go. We are the majority, the British people, no matter what colour you are. If you're British, if you're an illegal British person who came into this country to make a better life for yourself and make Britain a better place and respect British culture, then, you know, you're a British person, aren't you? Yeah. Noticed the other day that I'm a fully licensed fisherman, because, like I said, choose your battles. Even though even when you got a license, you're still battling with people. But anyway, I noticed the other day that there's a lot, because the algorithms, because obviously I renewed my license and things like that, the algorithms sort of kick in, and then there's a lot of like sponsored ads coming in on like the social media sites for fishing licenses, and you know, the Environment Agency and things like that. You know, from personal experience, these absolutely useless anyway, not fit for purpose. Nobody knows what they spend their money on. Probably taking, like, you know, homeless people to court for trying to eat something. You know, that's what it seems like. Because I was talking to a fella last year down the bottom, and he had no money. He was starving, and he said, well, you know, I need to eat. So he said he was coming out and trying to catch some fish, and they bullied him, took all his gear off him. Now that wouldn't happen with me. There's no way they would take my gear off me. They have no more power than you or I. They're not sworn in officers of the law, and they're not. And if they assault you, you can take them to court. If they lay a finger on you, if somebody touches you, it's assault. Now, it used to be if somebody give you a clip, it would be assault. But now, if somebody lays a finger on you, because of all the lefty laws, so I suppose that is one good thing that's come out of it all. So we, yeah. So just saying, they've got no power. They absolutely no power whatsoever to do anything to you. And if they do try and take anything off you, if they do touch you, or they do assault you, and same if they try and phone the police on you, and they restrain you and things like that, yeah, you get them arrested for assault. You know, that's it really. But like I said, these environmental agency and the fishing license adverts coming up and things like that, and there's a lot of people on there commenting on there saying, oh yeah, I'd like to take up a new hobby. And what they don't realise, what's underlying in that, they get their license, they go to their local river, and then some bully boy comes up to them and starts threatening them and saying, you're not with the club, you're not part of the club. Yeah, that's what it seems to be. Yeah, you got to pay loads more money to be part of the club. Yeah, whatever. Pathetic. They don't own the land, they don't own the rivers. They don't. None of them do. It is absolutely pathetic. So what do we do, folks? What do we do? You can pray, obviously. Yeah. But UK's at boiling point, you know. We are. You see it. And the thing is, they know as well that we're at a boiling point, and then they make fake scenarios to try and get everybody else wound up. Get the agent provocateurs in and to get everybody riled, and then, you know, good people get hurt and arrested, and then because of the agent provocateurs. You know, it's like something happened in a small village. The villagers were fed up with the amount of people who shouldn't be there, and so they went to the place where they were keeping these people who shouldn't be there, and the police bust in, bust as in bust car, not busted. The police bust in a load of these wet wipes, anti-film mob, yeah, and yeah, bloody noodle arms, you know. But you know, obviously the police look after them, don't they? So they just go down chops in. They're obviously mentally ill because, you know, these people are like 2 stones soaking wet, and women and things like that, and, you know, and they just go and mouth into men, you know, actual men, like. And then, you know, after they've caused all the trouble, then the police go in and arrest the normal people, and then they go and bus them back out then and take them back to their wet white land. Like I said, we can pray and keep praying. That's all we can do at the moment. Now we got Fudco, sunflower and pumpkin seed. They're lovely, not endorsed by them. A boost of energy. And pumpkin seeds are good for parasites. Not good for parasites, they kill parasites. You wouldn't want to give yourself parasites, would you? Although a lot of people do, by eating junk food, but, you know. Anyway, I think I've sat by this river long enough now. I'm going to go home. I've enjoyed it, just sitting here, relaxing, listening to the water go by. Next time I'm going to bring a sketch pad with me and do some drawing. Alright, anyway, good luck out there, and we all need to start sticking together now. You know, we do. Anyway, God bless, and I'll see you next time.